Kyle here from All Media Reviews. Here to talk about the Timberwolves round two. But I was going to make the Kevin Gilbert live at the Troubadour. I didn't get around to sort of reviewing that. Hopefully coming probably tomorrow if all goes well on Tuesday. So, but just as make this as brief as possible. It never ends up being as quick as possible because it is a podcast sort of now in name. You know, the Timberwolves end up winning the series, much to my surprise after, you know, winning the first two games in Denver, and kind of just, they looked like just a superior team. Their defense was just sort of exhausting them, but then, you know, they come back to Minneapolis and lose games 3 and 4 pretty handily, and I was like, well, yeah, no, that was a mirage. And then they lose game 5 in Denver. You know, that didn't surprise me so much, but then just responding so well in game 6, you know, complete blowout. And you think, well, Denver has game 7 at home. They're not going to give that much effort. I don't know. I think it was a combination. And then last night in game 7, you know, they were down by 15 points at the half, 20 early in the third quarter. And, you know, I admit that I didn't think they had it in them to come back. I mean, I said it could happen, but I didn't really. Was I a doubter? I don't know. I mean, I guess naturally I kind of doubt, but I think that a couple things may have. I mean, they played really well in the second half. Their defense did. I didn't get the impression that the Nuggets were really playing that well, though, last night in the first half, despite the fact they were up by, you know, 15 points. They controlled most of the first half. I mean, and, you know, Edwards, you know, Ant wasn't playing that well, but Jaden McDaniels was, and I think that made a big difference, and Cat, too, in the first half. But again, you know, Murray and Jokic was playing okay. They had a big rebounding difference, but I didn't get this impressionable, like, sort of energy about Denver, despite winning by that much. And then I think just by the midway through the third quarter, they're like, are they coming back? Are they really going to come back? I guess they are. It was like Naz Reid and some of the other guys beside. I mean, you know, Cat. Not Edwards. Edwards was doing other things, but, you know, he was 6 to 24. He really didn't start scoring really until really late in the third quarter. I mean, he helped fuel that comeback. You know, and then they went to the free throw line, even Gobert. The free throw line made a difference, I think. But I don't know. I just got the impression that Denver was sort of worn, including Jokic. The physical play, I don't know. I mean, they lost to him last year, but they only went 5 games. Maybe the Timberwolves, you know, they were hungrier. I don't know, they were hungrier, you know, and so this, you know, ultimately, what does it really mean? You know, they're in the Western Conference Finals, second time in 20 years, second time in their history. They got to beat Dallas. They have the home court against Dallas, and someone said, I thought they said in one of the Score North live chat that Dallas was favored. I'm not surprised Dallas beat Oklahoma City. I watched some of the game, was it Saturday night? And I think I've seen a few other clips of that series. Both those teams are not physical the way that the Wolves are and the way that the Nuggets even are to some degree. In fact, I don't know if any of the teams left in the playoffs are that physical. Indiana, the Celtics are somewhat, but I don't know if they're as physical as Denver. So I think, you know, I think the Wolves should be favored, but, you know, we'll see. And they have the home court, of course, but we'll see. Luka Doncic, and Irving. But, you know, it's interesting. It feels kind of like, it feels a little bit like the Twins' playoff runs way back, you know, when I was in grade school and high school. But if they don't win the West Conference Finals, it's a stepping stone. But if they do and they go to the finals, we'll see. and see if this team can stay together. But I'll admit, though, I thought, well, after the first two games, they looked really good, and it's like, well, I don't know. The way they're playing, I don't know if they'll lose. But then after playing Denver, and Denver kind of showing how you can potentially beat, it's about adjustments. A lot of it's about adjustments, about defense and about adjustments. And they made adjustments, Denver made adjustments, then they made more adjustments. I mean, they're saying, well, if McDaniels scores and if the Wolves don't turn the ball over, they have a good chance to win. But I think it is true. If their defense, I mean, if McDaniels scores, he's generally feeding his offense is being fed off his defense. Although he had several games in both the Phoenix series and in the Denver series where he didn't score a lot and he still played good defense. But, first game 2 against Phoenix he had 25, and then game 6, I mean, they might have won game 6 without his 21 points, but certainly that helped. Because the problem is you have these teams that they focus on one guy, but then you have someone else. It's like the depth of their weapons. Even though you could say that Gobert and like when Kyle Anderson are in the game, sometimes they're in the game simultaneously. Neither of them are much of a threat offensively, although Gobert hit a jump shot last night and he was getting fouled and going to the free throw line. Gobert just like hits dunks. I mean, he's a threat in that sense offensively only, but I don't know. I just feel like watching the series, the Wolves didn't play more than about 1 or 2 games where their offense was really clicking, even hitting threes. Whereas the Phoenix series is like with Alexander and Reed. I mean, Reed hit some, but I don't think they ever really got in a groove from a three-point standpoint. I don't know if you credit Denver's defense some of that, and just cold at points, but we'll see if Dallas can be any better. I kind of am skeptical. I don't know if Dallas is as good defensively as even Denver is. But, and the thing with like Jamal Murray and the whole throwing the heat pack at the ref, I mean, if he wasn't suspended, it didn't matter. I mean, but he was having his way in the first half yesterday. He was kind of carrying them. But throughout the whole playoffs, I don't think he was, like, watching him last year, I was actually rooting for the Nuggets and Murray. I mean, he torched the Wolves in that first series last year. He doesn't look 100%. He had flashes, but when they won the championship last year, he was almost unguardable. But I don't know. But we'll see. It's they're gonna have to see what happens next year. But with the Wolves, I mean Dallas and then the other series, Indiana and the Celtics. I haven't watched enough of the Celtics. I think they kind of coasted somewhat. They lost 1 game to Atlanta, was it? But it's going to be a tougher test. If Indiana ends up beating them, I won't be surprised, as much as they have this gaudy record and clearly the best record in the NBA. But if Indiana winning and the Wolves won, then the Wolves would have the home court for the finals if they made the finals. Grant, I'm not sure how much the finals, like the home court is really the finals. The home court in the NBA playoffs is worth as it once was. I don't know. Like, I watched the Timberwolves Sacramento series game back in 2004, the anniversary on May 19th of Garnett's birthday. The Wolves won 83-80. And it seemed like the home court was more of a big, like, deal breaker. But it's almost becoming like hockey to some degree. I don't know. I mean, obviously you'd rather have the home court than not have it. But, I mean, in this Nuggets series, it really didn't mean a lot from a standpoint of playing better at home versus on the road. I mean, the Wolves went into Denver toward the end of the season and lost when they needed to win that game. Now, they had gone and won in Denver previously, just like a month before that. But so it's a weird feeling having a team that's really doing well. And we haven't, like I said, we haven't won a championship in the Twin Cities here, a major championship, outside of the Minnesota Lynx, professional sports since the Twins in 1991. So I don't know. We'll see. Of course, the Twins, they went 17-3 over the period of 3 weeks, and then they end up playing the Yankees and Cleveland and got swept in both at home. So they're coming back down to earth at this point. But I can't complain. At least one team is playing well in my hometown. But so if you watch the NBA playoffs, what's your take? Are they basically the team to beat right now, or they're certainly the most buzzed about team among the 4 teams left? But things can change fast, as we know. It's going to be fun though. It'll be fun to see. Western Conference Finals here, first couple games, then going to Dallas and coming back here potentially. I don't know. I mean, it's almost like the Wolves have sort of gone into another gear to some degree. I mean, the Denver series, they had those two the two games they just weren't in either game. I mean, one of the games they kind of were, but the games they've played well, it's almost like they're at a different level. I'd like to see that level play against, like, if they played the Celtics in the finals and be like, yeah, they're just the best team in the league right now. But I kind of worry. Anthony Edwards, he's going to be in the is it the Olympics? I think it's the Olympics coming up this summer. He's going to be playing probably in that too, so he's not going to get a lot of time off. I mean, come next fall for the new season, he's going to be drained. I know LeBron had a season or two like that. Garnett was talking about that, how he did that, where he won the title, was in the NBA Finals, and then played in the Olympics. It's like, I know it's your job and stuff, but these are professional athletes, taxing themselves. I mean, he's young. At least he's young. I mean, what can you say? You're young for a reason. So, but yeah, I think I will. I'm starting to look at 1991. I want to do the Live of the Troubadour. Some other stuff coming up this week. I'm spacing new releases. I listened to a decent amount of the Mavericks album. Speaking of Mavericks, the Mavericks' new album, Moon and Stars. It's pretty good. I need to still listen to more. I need to listen to it more. But among the featured vocals, you don't hear that much. But on the one song is Nicole Atkins, who I'm a fan of. But yeah, I can't remember if there was something else. I mean, on the agenda per se, there's new releases coming up in the next few weeks, and of course this big month of June. I'm going to do another Pepe Deluxe video this week, of course. I'm planning to do that. It'll be the next one. It's Beatitude. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, there's some other stuff in the works, but the main focus is trying to get to 1991, and I'm going to do like I said, the Live of the Troubadour. I mean, there's Jeff Buckley, of course. Jeff Buckley's anniversary of his death is coming up too, But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the Timberwolves playoffs. If you are a Timberwolves fan, we got to enjoy this. We don't know if this will happen again. Hopefully we have many years of this, but thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.